Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you can get your camera working, that's great. But probably if you share, oh, hello. Okay, there you are.
You can hear me, correct?
Yep. Yep. Okay. So, should you share your screen or I share mine? What's better?
Um, Let me share my screen first, I think.
Okay. Yeah, probably. To
You can see my
stage.
screen, correct?
Yep.
Okay, have you checked the loom that I have shared with you? The two looms?
I did view them, but I kind of wanted to wait for us to walk through more. Just because I've never used a CRM before in any consistent manner. So, like,
Okay.
even though you're building what I think we both believe is right and if there's anything you need to change for a wholesale, this part's for the wholesale real estate business. Please feel free to let me know. I figured I'd let you
Can you
show
just tell
me.
me wholesale and the real estate, they both are same or different?
Right, no, so licensed real estate and wholesale real estate. So licensed real estate agent, real estate broker, traditional. I don't know how that works in your country, but a multi-list licensing methodology of selling real estate, and wholesale, which is basically unlicensed doing the exact same thing. And
Uh,
also self storage in our world, those three are all the same. We work, but
okay.
it's important that in the forms we have to define what they are. Is it licensed?
Okay.
Is it wholesale? Is it self storage? So it really comes down to more definitions than it does to being different ways of
Mm-hmm.
handling it. And I see the buyers here, the buyer form, buyer public and buyer team. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
people who call us and say, hey, or fill out our website and say, I'd like to be a buyer. I'd like to be notified when properties that fit this description are available. So that's part of the same ecosystem. That's part of the same universe. So it's
Okay.
95% of it's the same. Of course, the first group, the sellers, the people who want to sell property, wholesale, self storage, or
Mm-hmm.
MLS listed, those are sellers. Then you have buyers, different whatever, but they're all basically the same. It's just important that we define them differently because in America, the laws, especially Pennsylvania, the laws for each are different. So how we handle them is
Okay.
different.
Oh, so in that case, you need to share the logic for each of the form. So let's start with the first form. What? I'm in waiting.
So that's why,
Yeah.
yeah, the education, the first form that matters is sell us your house easy, fair price.
Mm-hmm.
So again, with all of those different phases, the education and the business in a box and the asset mastermind, those are later phases. They're part of what we agreed to do. They're just later. So this sell us your house fast, easy, fair price. This is the form that goes on the website for people to fill in. And that's why I
Okay.
say It's the public form.
Okay.
And it has less questions than the team form. So the public will fill out this form, and then my team will fill out the other form.
Oh, now I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this
So
form is for the sellers, or you can say your prospect customers who will sell their house or the property to you,
exactly,
correct?
exactly.
But at this point of time, when they are filling out this form, you are not sure if they are going to sell the property to you or not. I mean, your team will pitch them, correct?
exactly. So basically, that this is their chance, whether for I'm opening up my. I'm not meaning to share my screen. I want to go back to your screen, which means I have to remove my screen. Okay, that's what's going on. I overstepped you. So at this point, and I'm just going into
Hmm.
form, I can so
Sorry.
I can look at it on my side and I can give you the name of the form. At this point, they're simply saying, "Hi, I'd like to know more about selling you my house." It's
Mm-hmm.
the same form as um, it's the exact same form as storage. A little further down, storage guys, your fast storage buyer.
This one?
A little bit further down from where you're at, storage guys, your fast store. No, first page. See storage guys right with the red number 2 on it.
Mm-hmm.
Storage guys, that one. That's the exact same form, except that one goes on the storage website. So the only difference in these two forms is the first form is tagged as not storage, meaning residential commercial, and this form
Hmm.
is tagged as storage properties. So the operation of what happens to these two forms, these are both the public forms. The operation of these two forms is exactly the same. It's just if it comes in on
Okay,
this
so
form, yeah,
okay. So both of these forms are for the public. One is for to sell their property to you guys, and other to buy property from you.
no,
Correct?
they're both for sellers. There's
They both are for sellers. Then
storage.
why? Okay,
Storage.
okay,
I have two companies. I have a
okay,
self storage company with Mark. That's why I gave you Mark at Mark Wolf at PTD as the email. Mark Wolf. He's my partner on storage. So
okay.
everything that comes in for storage
Hmm.
gets given to Mark.
Okay.
Everything that comes in for not storage from the other form, the other website, is connected to Ryan. So that's why they're different.
So you mean one is for the housing property and one for the storage, correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
And they both will be like managed by different managers or
Yep.
users, we can say.
Exactly. Exactly. And
And
then
don't you think that these forms are little bit like these needs to be a little bit correct? See seller first name. I don't know what is this. It should seller name. It should say seller name only.
oh no, I would like you to make any changes you think are appropriate in these forms. I created these forms myself. They are not well organized. They are not well. They're the information I need. But if you want to rename
Mhm.
things, if you want to move things around, if you want to whatever, feel free.
And okay, I have some questions here.
Yeah.
See, I don't know if you want a required fields on your form or not, because if you see if I access this form, okay, and you will see that you just have these boxes as required. If
Okay.
somebody didn't if fill out the proper information, they just missed
Okay.
most of the fields. They can simply submit it without adding any of the fields here.
Right. Okay.
So,
So first of all, those two that are apparently required legally
mhm.
can't be required. We have to unrequire them right now. Those check
uh,
boxes cannot,
okay,
according to U.S. law, be required.
okay,
The
it should not be required, correct?
right. So the things that cannot be required, and this makes no sense. The federal government is stupid. I have no idea why. Those two
Yeah.
checkboxes cannot be required. The
Yeah,
phone
I
number
just made the changes.
and
Okay.
the phone number and email and
Mm-hmm.
name cannot be required. We can require everything else, but those cannot be required. So it's yes, it's entirely possible someone can fill out the form, not tell us anything about them, not give us
Mm-hmm.
permission to contact them.
Then how your team will contact them?
Basically, and as I said, this is where the federal government makes no sense. Um, and eventually, I'll probably want you to have a pop up. If they don't click those boxes, we'll say, hey, we're not sure we can contact you. But right now, while the federal government is looking at me, I can't have those be required. I can never have them be required. But
Mm-hmm.
and I think most people click them. I think most people fill in the information. But
Mm-hmm.
legally, I will lose my approval with this messaging department of the federal government if I make those four fields: name, email, phone, and those two check boxes. I guess five fields. They cannot be required.
Okay. And then
Everything else. What?
what about address? I mean, it's your form and your company, and I don't
Yeah.
know what fields you want to be required to have a at
Right.
least a lead information,
Yeah. So
a
I
basic
would like
information of the
address. I would like address
company.
and property information to be required.
Okay, just give me a
Everything else,
second.
yeah.
And in the property address, do you want all of these options to be required? Street address,
But
line 2, city.
no, because if you force them to do too many things, so I think street address, city, state is probably all we need to
Okay.
make mandatory.
City, state, postal. Do you need postal and
No,
country?
no. If we keep it street address, city, state, that's fine. Because the problem
Okay,
is,
I just made the mandatory on
yeah,
street address, city, and state only.
yep, yep, exactly.
Okay. And other than this, currently listed with broker, do you want this to be mandatory or not?
No, no,
No?
that one doesn't have to
What is
be.
this state chooser?
So what I and this is where I need your help because if they write PA and they write Pennsylvania or they misspell Pennsylvania, I've got a bunch of different things. I think that if they have a drop down instead of having a type in the box for state, if they have a drop down, it would be better.
So why we are using
Um,
state here? I think we should remove the state from here.
if we can, yes. I didn't know how to.
Okay,
Yeah,
no worries. I will remove this state.
yeah. If you remove the state, make the other, and just call the other one state. It doesn't have to say state chooser anymore. I just wanted to make
Yeah,
sure we didn't and make that one mandatory. I just wanted to make sure we didn't. I want to make them use the drop down so we don't have a bunch of different versions. Um,
correct. And country also, you want to have a pick list option. I think for the country, they are
it's
already
not it's
providing
not
the
it's
list.
not country, it's county.
Oh, it's county. Sorry, sorry,
Yeah, which
sorry.
is like a
Okay.
piece of a state. I don't know if you have them over there, but it's like a piece of a state.
No, we don't have county here.
Which is good. They
That's
don't
okay.
make any sense.
Yeah.
And
So
county
you
does not
need,
need to be required. Most people don't know their county.
okay, okay. And what are you looking to sell? Do you want this to also be required or not?
No, really, nothing else needs. Click off describe the describe property. You know what that one. Let's leave those. Let's leave that one as not required. Nothing else needs to be required. If we have city, state, if we have
Mm-hmm.
address, city, state, that's all we need to have required for right now.
Okay.
And that's the same thing is
Um,
true for the self storage form,
mhm. Okay.
and it's also the same thing is true for the team form, which is on page 2.
One second, I'm checking.
Yeah,
Okay, what about, let's discuss these, like we discussed these two forms, correct? Let's discuss this new buyer form. What is the use case of
yeah. Okay.
this form?
So before we do that, go to the second page. Go to forms 11 and 12.
This one?
You see wholesale seller basic team. that form,
Yeah.
that should
Mm-hmm.
have the exact same required fields as the other one.
Oh, okay. It is for the team,
Yeah,
not
so,
for
so
the normal.
team member name should be required.
Okay, 1 second. I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
Just give me a second.
I don't have any rules on this one. I can make whatever I want required. So team
You
member name,
want first name and last name both mandatory?
yeah.
Okay.
And then that's all that's on that one. And then pretty much for the team, the pretty much for the team, I want to make sure that things that are not legally allowed to be required are not required. So I scroll down. Do we have those checkboxes on here? Okay, they're
No.
not on here. That's fine. Now here's the important reason I wanted to lead to this is because what will happen is the first form will come in. We will send it to our team
Mm-hmm.
by email. So you'll set up an email to come to us, whatever. When they go to the team form and they start entering in more information, which this is where I don't know how to do it. So what happens is they get a couple answers from the seller through the website. Then they call the seller and they get all the other information. That's when they're using the team form. And what I don't know is I don't know how to make it connect. I'm assuming it's by property address, but maybe you have a
Oh,
better way to do it that when they
I
update
got
the team
you.
form, it fixes the overall file.
Okay. Okay. So you are saying that, for example, I am the seller, or I'm the seller, and I fill out this form from your website, and then one of your team member will contact me, and based on the conversation they will fill out this form so that you can have a look at the conversation or the information, correct?
Exactly. And they may need to fill out the form a few times. For instance, the team member,
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of questions in the team form. They might not have all the answers. So they'll open the team form, they'll give you whatever identifying information the system needs so it'll connect to the original seller form. And they
Mm-hmm.
may only have 4 answers. So they'll put in the 4 answers they have. Then they'll go back to it again later when they have more information and more information and more information. Because my problem is I have about 25 people who are on my team, and I
Hmm.
don't want to pay for Zoho accounts for all of them because some of them don't do anything.
I got it. You just want some form or the page in which a team can enter information again and again, and you do not want to pay for the license. So you
Exactly.
just want that information to be stored back and forth in the CRM.
Exactly.
Correct?
So yeah, exactly. So if you have to give a unique ID number and they use that, however you need to instruct them or have me instruct them to do that, so that every time they fill out the seller team form,
Hmm.
it'll be now. If, of course, things are going to get lost, they're going to screw it up. I realize that, but at least 80% of the time we'll have it correct. Um, so that's what those 3 forms have to do with sellers. That's why I didn't want to jump off until we covered that because they're
Okay,
sticking
I
with the
have a
seller
question
stuff.
here. So
Yeah.
these three forms are linked to each other. Two forms are for the public forms, and the one wholesaler seller basic team form will be for your
Yep.
team, correct? And
Exactly. So,
beside
so
this, no other form will be linked to those two forms,
right. So
those
there's
two
two
public
public
forms.
forms. There's the 2 seller forms, and there's the team form for sellers. Then
Okay.
you were asking about the buyers. There's a buyer
Hmm.
public form and a buyer team form.
Yeah, correct.
And same idea, same things on the public form cannot be required. We have to have those check boxes exactly as they are on all public
Once.
forms, and we can't have those things required.
We don't have any checkbox on this form.
Okay, so
Oh,
the
we
check
have,
boxes that
but
were on
it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory. Okay.
okay, yeah, right. So those check boxes exactly as there are on that first form on the we bought on the
Mm-hmm.
sell us your house, they need to be on all
Okay.
3 public forms. Sell us your house, sell us your self storage facility, and your buyer form. They need to be on all 3. and we can't make
All of
those things
those two
required.
check boxes. You
Yep,
want those check boxes here too?
on all public forms, yes.
But it's already have one. Do you want another one too?
Let me look at the buyer form. I haven't looked at the buyer form in a while.
Okay. Just give
Um,
me a second. I'm just
yep.
in my IC. Okay.
Okay, so the buyer public form checkboxes are wrong. They have to look exactly like, and I'm looking at the self storage one now.
Um,
The self storage one is correct. The two seller forms are correct. These two fields here, and I'll take over the screen for a second so you see them.
I have already opened the form, opt-in confirmation one and opt-in confirmation two.
Right. These two forms have to look the same way on the buyer form.
Okay,
Yeah.
that
Those
will
two
be done.
checkboxes. Yeah. Yep. And the state can be a drop down, can be checkboxes, can be whatever you want. I
Yeah,
don't
I
care.
think this is not good. If somebody is going to fill out this form, then he need to see all of this list. So
Yeah,
better to have
whichever.
a drop down rather than these check boxes.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Whichever way is better to be.
Hmm. Okay. And for this form, we right now we just have a one required field for a new buyer public form. Just it is the team last name. Do you want this field to be required
Well,
or
actually, let me look at that because I don't think. Hang on one second. Let me just pull up here real quick. Um, sorry, I just got an email, an emergency email. All right, so let me open this up. So basically, let me open up the buyer public form real quick, and I'll walk it through because the buyer public form, the word team should never appear because it's not the team form.
mm,
Um, so the buyer public form. So team first name can go away because it's in public form. It doesn't need to be there.
mhm.
Team last name can go away because it's a public form. It doesn't need to be there.
Okay, I'm
Um,
deleting it now.
yep. Buyer company name, phone, Facebook, LinkedIn, all those things are not required. What counties do you prefer? And what states? Those are all fine. And we don't need anything to be required on this form.
Okay.
I mean, it's there to help them if they don't want to give us information. Oh well. We just need those two required check boxes.
So you do not want anything required on this form.
Not on this form, no. Doesn't need to be
What
there.
about this? What county do you prefer? Specific city? What state?
State can be required, but really, nothing needs to be required. I don't care if anything's required.
Then how will you identify the user? I mean,
The
sorry, the customer or the
I,
buyer.
you're not wrong to ask the question, but since the law doesn't allow me to require their name, email address, phone number, or the checkboxes to be required.
I
So
mean, it's
it makes no sense.
okay, but it make no sense, correct? Because see, if we are running a campaign, then and if we are adding a form on that campaign, that things need to be there. Otherwise, how you are going to identify your leads? How are you going to connect with them?
Well,
I mean, you should have at least one thing, either the phone or the email.
I would love to. The law does not allow it. That's it.
That's weird, actually.
I hope things are more logical in your country's government than mine, but over here,
Yeah,
nothing makes
we
sense.
do not have
Especially,
anything like this that.
Yeah, it
Okay.
makes no sense.
Yeah,
And ever
correct.
since January, it's gotten a lot worse over here. But
You are from
literally,
which country?
America, USA,
Okay.
it makes no
Is it
sense.
is it related to this section already? Because I worked with many USA based clients, so I built form for them. They do not
Right.
like they never mention this thing to me.
So this applies if they want to do texting or emailing advertising. They have to get their, especially texting, phone or text. They have to get approved by this special government. Many people
Oh,
don't bother, but if they're going to bother and get registered, they have to do it.
okay, that's okay.
And it's something that I didn't know about until they shut me down. They took away my light. They took away my permit.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things that doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Then I need to see a whole new system because I was not actually instructed by you that you are using these forms like these. So no worries. I need to create a new flow for this one.
Oh, I'm
So let me
sorry.
think. No,
I'm
it's
sorry about
okay.
that. Okay.
No, it's
Thank you.
okay. Completely okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So yeah. So then this takes care of how buyers and sellers. Now, of course, then there's a buyer team form,
Mm-hmm.
just like the buyer public form, where the team members are going to add more information, and just like the other team form, they might not collect all the information at once. So everything we learn about the buyer, we go in, we fill that we, however it connects the team form to the original CRM. Oh, gee,
Mm-hmm.
today we learned the buyer's company name. Okay, let's add buyer's company name. Today we learned their LinkedIn address. Okay, let's add their LinkedIn address. I mean,
Okay.
you don't necessarily learn everything up front from them, but you know, and you may never learn it all. But the point is, same thing. A lot of my team members don't do a lot of work.
Okay. Okay. I got the points now.
Okay.
Hmm. So again, for the same scenario will work here. Your team will come and fill out this information, and they will contact again a buyer. And if they collect new information, they will again fill out the form. Correct?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And and it
And you
usually
are
doesn't
using.
happen. What?
Sorry, go ahead. No, no, go ahead.
On the buyer side, it usually doesn't happen that much because usually the buyers told us everything we need to know. But
Okay.
maybe it does, in the future. On the seller side, that happens quite a bit because you'll see on the seller team form, we
Hmm.
have the team is supposed to go and get the Zillow address and the this address and the that address. And
Yeah.
there's lots of other questions. And they might not do it all at once. They just might not, they might be on the phone with the seller, collect that information, close it out, go on to the next one. And then later we'll find the Zillow address and we'll put the Zillow address in. Later we'll find the this and we'll put that in. So it will expand. And when you go to when you build out the later phases, you'll see that there's even more stuff that we'll be learning as well. But this is sort of the initial basics.
Oh, I got it, which is why you were using the stage drop down here. I thought you just put a stage drop down just randomly on a
What do you mean,
form.
what do you mean randomly?
No, you mentioned on our Upwork chat. Remember, you told me that I removed the stage drop down from the form, correct? So because I was not sure, like what is the use case of stages in a form?
Okay, so yeah, okay, well, yeah, which I apologize. I thought the document kind of walked it through. But basically,
That was what
does
it
it
is.
make sense to you now that I sent you that spreadsheet yesterday?
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, yeah. So basically, when it's the whole thing here, the whole purpose of the system is
Mm-hmm.
when it's a new lead. Those are the steps that have to happen before it goes to the next, what I call phase, whatever phase, stage, whatever. So it goes from
Mm-hmm.
new lead And when we've accomplished assign source tag, send welcome email, when the
Okay.
client follows up and the team member has contacted, is ready to, it's been assigned to contact, or they've contacted the seller, then it goes to contacted seller. It does those things. It goes to info collected fully. They've collected everything. Then it goes to evaluation. It goes to this. It goes to that. Because the whole purpose of this is what my partner and I run into is we will forget about a deal. It'll drift because we simply forget about it. The system now will remind us, hey, you have 5 new leads that have sat in contacted seller for too long. This is one of the triggers, one of the messages that I want to have the system do is have something that we can look and say, hey, which deals are still in new lead, which deals are still in contacted seller, or have the system have the system automatically send out reminders to remind us, hey, this information still needs to be collected.
Okay.
So that's the whole purpose for this. I mean, that's the reason we're doing all of this, is because we forget things, basically.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
that's kind of where it's at.
Okay. 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 And I have one more question here.
Yeah.
Um, let's say that at you made the offer. What is this marketing means here?
So what happens is when we make the offer, let me blow this back up so I can read it again. So we make the offer, they accept the offer, it goes under contract. So we'll say to the seller, hey, we want to buy your house for $35,000. We've made the offer. They haven't signed it yet. They sign at whatever number, 35,000. Then it's under contract.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's under contract, it goes to marketing. That's advertising, where we promote the deal. Because our job when we get a contract is to sell the contract. That's effectively all this is a sales transaction. So
Okay. Okay. So
marketing
this
is when
this
we're promoting.
okay. So this list is for the seller's form, correct?
This basically yes, because what happens is when it hits marketing, blast to buyer list. When it hits marketing, all of the buyers get notified. Hey, we
So
have this new property.
buyers means that the buyers that fill out the buyer's form, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
An
Either
email will go out to them, correct?
right, exactly. Eventually, I want to
Okay.
add the intelligence that says, "Oh, this buyer is only looking for self storage. This buyer is." Eventually, I want to add that intelligence to it. If you can add that now, that's great. But when a new
Yes, that
property
is
is
possible.
entered and it goes to marketing phase, the
Hmm.
buyers get notified. Oh,
Okay.
we have a property that might fit you. Here you go.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and then once the buyer is identified, that means the buyer has seen the property, liked the property, signed a contract on the property. Then they have an
Hmm.
inspection period, title, clear to close. Those are the stages that happen after the buyer has put their money down and they're ready then they want to buy the property.
Okay. 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 And do we have any stages for the buyers also as of now or not?
As of now, I actually hadn't even thought about that. So I probably will come up with a couple minor ones, but they're a lot less important.
Okay.
Okay, so but here is so here's what has to happen with the buyer. As soon as a buyer fills out a form,
Hmm.
the whether it's self storage or not self storage. So Ryan, Steve, and Mark get notified by the email.
Okay.
So the form should let us know, and then we will contact the buyer and fill out the team information. So really, the only assignment when the buyer form is filled out is have the team follow up with the buyer.
Okay.
And so I'll message you now on the other system. So when the buyer, I'll come up with a few stages, but it's basically buyer, public form, I'll do this after we finish talking. I'll send you just a few stages. It's a lot simpler. There's
Okay,
like 5 or 6 things to
no
do.
worries. I think it's pretty much understandable now.
Okay. I
Yeah.
definitely apologize for the confusion. I thought
No,
it's
it's okay.
simple to me. I didn't realize it wasn't simple for you.
No worries. But the main task here is to how we will identify the correct property which will be linked with the team forms, because we need to associate the team response that they are filling out the form with the correct property.
Right. And
So
I think maybe I didn't do it right, but I thought on the public forums. So I mean, one idea I came up with was the um, unique identification number.
yes, I also thinking that whenever somebody, for example, let's say, let me just quickly show you the form first. So let's say somebody has fill out this form,
Right.
your fast storage buyer seller form. So whenever we got a new form entry, we will add a unique identification number. It will contain, like, you can give me the unique number format if you want to have one. Then otherwise, I will create my own.
Doesn't matter.
Uh,
Anything.
Okay, then what we will do that whenever a new form gets submitted, you or your team will be notified with that specific identification number. So
Right.
whenever they are going to fill out this wholesaler seller team basic, they need to select or add the that unique identification number so that we can associate the correct information with the correct property.
Right. Now that there are times that people come directly to my team. They don't fill out the form. It's actually not that uncommon. Maybe
Okay.
the seller calls them, maybe they call the seller, maybe whatever, and it doesn't
Hmm.
go through the public form. So
Okay.
I don't know in those cases whether I should tell my team to use the team form or the public form. I would rather just tell my team to always use the team form. And if they don't have a unique identification number from the public form, the system can just create one, whatever.
Okay. I will check this. I
Yeah,
will
because
check this
you
if
know, for
I can
instance,
do something like this with this team form.
yeah, because we buy, for example, we buy a set of phone numbers, and we call phone numbers. Well, my team is doing that, so there's no public form involved, basically.
Hmm. So what we can do, let me just think about it. We can put a field here with the name, or we can say a property unique number. If a form didn't have that unique number, then automation will create a new property inside a CRM with the team information in it.
Exactly. Yeah. Pretty much. That
Okay,
will certainly work fine. Yeah.
okay. Okay, let me just think about it how we can do it. Let me create a document so that I even need to check everything. And I have one more question here. You mentioned in the document that you would like to have a folder in the work drive, correct?
You mean for document storage?
Yes, for the document
Yeah.
storage.
Right. So basically, right now I use the whole purpose for this the purpose for this big ecosystem is to put all of my different stuff in one place. There are certain
Hmm.
documents, contracts, inspections, disclosures, yada yada yada, that I need to keep copies of. And right now I have a whole different software called Paperless Pipeline where I keep these copies. And
Have you? Okay.
so I believe Zoho has a document place to keep documents.
Yes.
So that
So
I basically
I
want to have
just,
each
yep,
property have a
yep.
folder, basically.
Mm-hmm. So what I did, if you check my recently created looms. So what I did, I'm just storing information right now in the deals, and at the time of form submission, when somebody is like submitting this form and they are putting their financial file here and a video upload or an image upload, the automation will work and it will fetch all of the documents from the form, and it will attach the document here as well as in the work drive. And I'm storing the work drive folder link here. If I click on this folder link, then I will be redirected to this folder in which I am storing the files from the
Okay,
record.
great. Now, eventually, and I don't remember if this is in the phases. If it's not, we can talk about adjusting the price when that time comes. But there are certain situations where so after at each stage, let me back up. At each stage during the process, there's a lot of forms. There could be 10, 20 forms that end up needing to be uploaded.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
we always need to be able to upload more forms to the system. And
Yes, you can.
at some point, and I don't know if that's part of this or maybe part of a future thing I do, I don't know. I forget if it's in the phases. If it's not, we'll deal with it later. I want a checklist where someone says, "Oh, here are the forms we have." If that's not part of what we're doing now, that's okay. I just want to make sure that every form that gets created or that is needed ends up attached to the property.
That is
Um,
possible. That will be done.
okay, great. And as I think it's a later phase of this, I had it where
Hmm.
the document would be created in Zoho with Zoho, I guess, document something. It'll go through Zoho Signer to be signed, and it'll be go through Zoho Work Drive to be stored. So
Yeah,
eventually, I
that
want
is also
everything happening
possible.
in Zoho. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yep, that is possible. If you are going to use a Zoho sign or Zoho contract, then we will create an automation. A signed document will be stored in the related property as well as in the work drive that we are creating for the property,
Okay,
for the each property.
that's great. That's great because eventually, what I want to do bluntly is I want to stop paying for my other storage directory. I want to stop paying for my DocuSign. I want to stop paying for my third-party softwares and have it all in one place.
Yes, you can stop doing it.
Um,
I mean, let's just set up this whole
right. Well, when
system.
we get there, that's then. Yes. Right.
Yeah. Okay,
Right.
and regarding the property address, right now I'm constructing the record name as public submission dash property address. So by property address, you mean just give me a second. This whole property address contains street
Well,
address, city,
I mean,
state.
it doesn't. I mean, it can simply be It can simply be property. See, here's where the whole thing is probably right because we might have, if we just took the street address, there might be 2123 Main Streets. So at least if it was street address, city, state from the drop down, street address, city,
Okay.
state would be great. Something that it's absolutely going to be unique. But if we're using unique identifier, as long as I don't have duplicates, I don't have two folders called 123 Main Street. I don't have two folders of documents called 123 Main Street.
No, 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 no. I already, the functionality which I added to create the folder, I have not added any override. So they will just create, if, for example, if I am the seller and I just fill out this information and I added ABCD property address, and some other
Right.
seller came tomorrow and he also fill out the property address ABCD, correct? So in
Yeah.
that case, it will create a duplicate form. I mean, not duplicate, and it will not say like uh, separate folders for both of them. The property address will be same, but the links will be different for both of them.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
And
there will be
yeah.
no duplicacy. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
So
Yes. Exactly. So
I
so
think
that's good.
we are. Yeah. Why? Okay. I think. Okay. Anything from your side? Do you want to elaborate Any of the other thing
No,
related to
I
this?
think that's pretty much it. And so eventually, just to explain all of the phases. So we have this for the real estate phase, which will basically run my real estate business. Now, one of the later phases of what we're doing is financial. I want to reconcile my bank accounts and reconcile my transactions and basically have Zoho, whatever it's called, books or whatever, do the accounting part of it. So eventually there'll be
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of connection between this section and that section, but that'll be done when you get to that section. My goal here
Sure.
is that we will, at the end of this, have, and this is for both of us to profit from, because in addition to what you're doing now, I'll have you make a percentage off everything that sells. I want people to subscribe to this service, not my team, but other teams. And we will run their entire real estate business. We will run their entire, not we will run, the software will be the back office for their entire education business. So when people sign up as a subscription, it'll track data. So the whole goal here is to create something that is absolutely structured so that I, as the user of the, meaning the company user, as well as my team, as well as the public, can all understand what's going on as much as that role needs to. So that's kind of
Okay.
the universe of what we're doing. And really what this is the first, this is phase one and phase two. This is what I need to run my real estate business. So that, just so you kind of understand how it all fits together.
Yes, I now completely understand how you want to have the system with those
Right.
current forms.
And the others, again, a later phase, I forget if it was 3 or 4. I have other forms which are things like repair estimators, and
Yes.
those are calculators, I guess, for lack of a better term, that will also link back to a specific property. 123 Main Street. Here's the repair estimate. And
Mm-hmm.
so some of the later phases will relate back to this, but this is sort of the core. With this, I can run my business more effectively. Is really what this boils down to.
Yeah, I believe also like we should start with the system first, like how the data will flow. And after the basic integration, we can move forward with the other forms also.
Yep, exactly. Right. I totally do get that. I just wanted you to sort of see where the picture was going, but then that's great. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, and I'll send you a link to this video so you'll have that too.
Yeah,
All
sure
right,
thing.
thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.